Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Let's Play with me, the Drew Gamer. Today we are going back in time to the game that started it all for the series, Final Fantasy 1. I'm so excited to play this. Now this is going to be an interesting series because I am doing all my commentary in post-production. So all the content that I've done, I've already got it all recorded, the game is fully recorded, Let's Play is finished, I just need to record my audio to go along with it. So it's going to be interesting to do because I've never really done that before. But Final Fantasy 1 is it's a very interesting game. You start off with creating your characters, so we're going to be doing that. And here you have 4 characters to select. You have 6 classes, and you can make multiple of the same character. For instance, if you wanted 4 warriors, you could do 4 warriors. You don't have to have them all different, but I like to have them all different. So, and based on certain things, so you got the warrior who has a wide range of weapons and armor, he's very good at attacking and defending, and then you have the thief who is usually the fastest, and he doesn't have as much attack power. Monks specialize in bare knuckle combat, and then they are really, really powerful physically, so they get really good hits in. Red mage are okay melee attackers, and then they can do black magic and white magic, but not as high as the other two. White mage focuses entirely on healing and protected magic and holy elemental damage, but they're not very good at anything else. And then the black mage focuses entirely on elemental and non-elemental magic and stuff that like afflicts the enemies, and they're not good at attacks either. So as you can see here, I'm just showing off that like you can do it 4 rock warriors if you want, but we're going to be doing it a specific way today. And as you've probably seen the Drew Guild trailer now, it mentions the original founders of each faction that I created. So my characters are going to be based on those, because the idea of like the guild was that every like the Pokemon were based on the classes of Final Fantasy 1. So unfortunately the letters don't fit fully. So we got Sterling Everglade, but unfortunately it's just Stirl. Next up we have our Red Mage, who is Frederick Burgundy. But again, we can't fit Frederick, so we had to go with that. After that, we're going White Mage, who I believe is, again, it's a name that's not going to fit, and I believe it's, I go with Cassie, but her actual name is Cassandra Alabaster. And last but not least, we are going with a Black Mage, who is Monty for Montgomery Ater. And all these names are pretty much linked to what they are, apart from Sterling Everglade, because they're the Marsh Knights. That's why that was that. And I'll go into why I chose those characters in a few minutes. The world lies shrouded in darkness. The winds die. The seas rage. The earth decays. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear. And in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. So that's it. That's the intro to Final Fantasy 1, and it basically just throws you straight into it. But before we get started, question of the day: did you play the original Final Fantasy on the NES? So let me know if you did. We're just gonna have a look at the characters real quick. So Sterling, they all start off with the same equipment, but you can see here like strength and stamina are his best stats for Sterling. Fred has decent intelligence and agility, but nothing else. And then the other two have really good intelligence. But I believe Monty has the highest luck as well. And if you want, you can switch your characters around and stuff, but it seems to be position based, so the warrior seems to get a lot of attacks done on him. And I'm just going to sort out the text speed because it does get a bit intense, and you can change the window color if you want as well. But we went with this team because I always like to have a warrior, a white mage, and a black mage to do some really good damage quite early on. But we went red mage because I wasn't sure what to use as my fourth character, either the monk, the thief, or the red mage. And you all voted for the red mage, so that's why I've ended up with three mages. But it does work out interestingly because, like I said, I've never used a red mage before. At least in Final Fantasy 1. So I really like it. So at the moment, we're pretty much just buying equipment that we can afford and just decking out our party. So everyone has certain equipment they can have. Like, not everyone can equip it. So for instance, like the white mage can't equip swords, for instance. She can equip like rods and hammers, whereas the warrior can't equip nunchucks, for instance. But even then, if you buy the nunchuck for the monk, it's not very good. He's better with no weapon at all. So here I'm just buying some magic. So you can get 3 pieces of magic per level. And like I said, the red mage can learn both white and black magic, but it's not as powerful as the white or black mage. But it's good there for like, if you want to do some extra damage with magic, or extra healing with magic, and your white mage is doing something else, you can do like a quick heal on someone while they're setting up like protect or something. Up there, that's the church, but I don't think I really show it off in this Let's Play, and that's an item shop. There's a king is searching for the prophesied warriors of light. That's Crystal, you must be the king. You must see the king at once. Welcome, travelers. I am told you carry crystals. Is this true? I'm gonna try and read everything. It's just as Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. I like he's got chocobo statues there. Chocobos didn't come into it until 2, I don't think. Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these warriors are the warriors foretold by the prophecy. Yet they stand before us with the crystals. I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. Crystal bearers, there is a task I would ask of you. Will you not rescue my daughter, Sarah? Garland, a knight once in his majesty's service, has abducted Princess Sarah. I ask for your aid in the name of his majesty. I ask you, Garland has taken the refuge of the Chaos Shrine, which lies to the north. I didn't realize who I was talking as then. Of course, we did attempt to save the princess ourselves, but Garland is the finest swordsman in the kingdom. We have none who can match him. I have heard that you wish to journey to the continent to the north. The bridge leading north was lost long ago, making passage impossible. If you can rescue Sarah, I will have the bridge rebuilt as a sign of my gratitude. Go forth now, warriors of light, and do not fail. I don't know if it said fail. I skipped it too quick. Thanks, past me. So we're gonna go off. And interestingly, if you watched my review of Final Fantasy Origins, this is what it's based on. So combat, we have all our characters on the side. You have attack, magic, defend, and item. Warrior can't use any magic, but the other 3 can. And at the moment, we're just doing basic damage. We're only level 1. So we'll only be doing 1 hit per turn, but later on, as you start leveling up, you'll start doing multiple hits. And it'll do, obviously, increased damage. and you get experience of Gil as you do. I think like I tried to showcase as many enemies as I could, but I think literally all the way up there, all I found were goblins, which is very frustrating. So the aim of Final Fantasy 1, like the main premise of the story, I won't go into. We're not going to go into that cave yet. That's something we do much later on. That's a bonus dungeon that was added into the PSP version of the game, which we're playing. And the reason I chose that version was because it did have all this bonus content, and I love doing it. Originally I was thinking I could get the Pixel remaster, but I wanted to go off this version. I love the sprite work as well in this game. It's fantastic. So we're going to do a couple of spells. So the main premise of Final Fantasy 1 is that you appear in Cornelia with your crystals, and you have to go around the world to reawaken the crystals, which is what we have in the bottom right. So that is literally the main premise of the game. We're going around and we're going to wake up all the crystals to save the world. So we got a level up, and the stats seem to be randomized, like, and how I'm not entirely sure how the stats work. I believe that you will end up with the same amount of stats once you hit the highest level. But the way that it is distributed as you level up is randomized. So for instance then, Sterling got a lot of HP, as warriors tend to do, but Monty only got 1 HP on level up, but he does start getting more HP as he levels up, obviously. But I think he actually overtakes Frederick for a bit. I keep saying their like shortened name because that's what it says, but on the side you can see their full names. I'm going to try and make sure that I say their full names because that's what I wanted. But unfortunately, you only have a certain number of characters to fit their names on, and I wanted to make sure that I fit the names of them on there. I mean, I could always do it myself in edit, but no, I don't want to do that. It's going to take too much work. Making sure that it appears on every battle and stuff. So we're going to have a little return to Cornelia. So I'm really excited to finally bring this to you. Obviously, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. The first one I played was actually Final Fantasy VIII, and I didn't really understand what it was doing, because my friend kept saying, "Oh, you need to play Final Fantasy VII." And we went to the store, and then there was Final Fantasy VII and 8 there, and I rented 8, not knowing Roman numerals properly at the time. And I was really impressed with the opening and stuff, but I didn't understand how to save it or anything, so I kept seeing the opening over and over and over again. And then I kept getting killed by the T-Rexer that I kept finding in the wild, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And then, I think it was a couple of months later, one of my friends came over and he brought Final Fantasy VII and let me start it. And I was hooked then. That was it. I was in love with Final Fantasy. And then once that, like, after about a year, I actually finished Final Fantasy VII. Because this was like back in 2000. I finished Final Fantasy VII and then I bought 8 for my birthday. And then I played through 8 and I loved it. And then I got 9 with... my dad put a bet on the Grand National for me, like really young. And I was like, yeah, just pick that one. And with that, I bought Final Fantasy 9, and that is my favorite like Final Fantasy ever. Like, I absolutely love Final Fantasy 9. So we're leveling up again. There we go. Just keeping an eye on the time. We've got about 13 minutes, because the way I'm doing this is that I have the video playing and I can hear it in my headphones, but it's muted on there, so it doesn't play back, and then I'll just add this into my video and render it out again. So as you can see there, like I was saying earlier, Fred's HP is only 34, but Monty's is now 51. So like way they're getting stats and stuff is weird. So this is interesting. In Final Fantasy Origins, this is the place that you go to in the demo, and then they've had a second demo since then. But in in both demos, the Chaos Shrine, this is what it's based on. It's a little bit smaller than that one. We're gonna go pick up some items. There's items in all 4 corners, but we can only access these right now. We're probably gonna get into a few battles. This place is full with undead enemies and spiders. And that's what the Dire spell is for. I don't know if it's supposed to be Dia or Dire, but I think it makes more sense as Dire. Dire does damage to undead enemies, so it's very situational, but you do usually find big groups of undead enemies, so it is worth doing. Oh yeah, this is where everyone just kept missing, and I was like, for God's sake. Because I actually re-recorded this episode numerous times because I got to the Chaos Shrine and this kept happening and they kept missing. And then I just got wiped out because they just kept getting crits on me. So I had to re-record this, which wasn't fun because I had to redo the intro. And I was like, it's going to take me forever, and I had to redo it all. It was very irritating. See, even then, Fred is getting like a lot of damage onto him. So you can see that like they can take you out really quick because you've only got very little HP at the start of the game. Like in comparison, I think Cloud has. I'm not entirely sure how much HP Cloud has at the start of the game, but he starts off at level 7, and then as soon as you. He either starts off at level 6, and then as soon as you do the first battle, he goes to level 7, or he starts off at level 7 and goes to level 8. I can't remember exactly how it works, but he has a lot of HP in comparison to these guys, because these guys start off at level 1. Final Fantasy 9, everyone starts off at level 1 as well, and I believe they do start off with sort of similar HP to this, which is really cool, because Final Fantasy 9 references Final Fantasy 1 a lot, to the point that a lot of people thought it was a sequel to Final Fantasy 1, and it's not. It's its own thing. But it just has a lot of references to 1 in it. For instance, like the first 4 characters that you get in the game are a knight, a thief, a white mage, and a black mage, which is the default team of these Final Fantasy 1. Whenever you start the game, it's always a knight, a thief, a warrior, thief, a white mage, and a black mage. And Garnet appears in like the same cloak that Cassandra's wearing right now when she first appears in Final Fantasy 9, which is really cool. And then there's like a lot of references, there's like a lot of locations that are, they're not exactly the same, but there's like a lot of name references that are the same. But Final Fantasy 9 has a lot of interesting references to a lot of Final Fantasies in there. There's like a line in there that says neither Cloud nor Squall, which are the 2 main characters of Final Fantasy 7 and 8. And there's a couple of other references. I say a couple. There's so many references in Final Fantasy 9. Maybe I'll do a video on it eventually because I want to get into doing that sort of stuff. And again, as you saw, everyone leveled up and got a good amount of HP, but Frederick didn't. I know I said Sterling. Frederick didn't. He's still on 36 HP. I'm pretty sure he started off with 30. So. He needs to catch. I think this is what I'm doing here. I'm like leveling him, like trying to level him up again to see if we can get some HP on him. What are we on? We're on. I'm pretty sure I do the boss in this episode. Pretty sure. No, I think I do leave because I've got no MP left. And interestingly, actually once this came out on PS1, I believe in actually Final Fantasy Origins, which was Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 1, they did change it so that your characters do have MP, because originally it was like you had levels 1 to 8 in their magic, and each level had a certain number of uses. So for instance, if you had like level 1, it could say like 36 out of 36, but level 8 would be like 5 out of 5, and then if you use the level 8 spell, it'd be 4 out of 5. So instead of like having it as actual MP that you could use and recover that way, it was like every level of the magic had 0. Oh yeah, just like cut a couple of times there. Get some magic, I think. Yeah. Heal up, get some magic. I just didn't want to like make you watch me walk all the way back. So we have Protect and Blink. Blink raises the caster's evasion, but no one else's evasion. So I think I just go with Protect. As cool as that would have been, like, if you set up your defenses and stuff, you're usually fine. And there is a magic later on that does better at increasing everyone's evasion. So it's just like, well, I'd rather have that than recover just up one character's evasion. So now we have reached the Chaos Shrine. This is Garland. The king will have no choice but to exchange the kingdom of his daughter's life. Cornelia will be mine. And who's there? He's the one that you fight in Origins. The king's lifetime. Do you have any idea who you're messing with? You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? Very well. I, Garland, will knock you all down. So this is Garland. He has about 250 HP. And there's a lot of backstory to Garland that we're not going to go into right now. But as we've heard, he is a swordsman from Cornelia. And he does something very naughty that causes us to turn up, basically. This is like the reason why we're here. And so we're doing a good amount of damage. It won't take us that long to kill him. But he basically kidnapped Princess Sarah for a specific reason, but I can't really go into it right now because otherwise it'll spoil the whole game. For those who haven't played Final Fantasy 1. Even then, like, a lot of people don't realize in like what is actually happening in Final Fantasy 1 because it's very confusing. It's a very simple story, but then once you get to a certain point, you're like, what? So that was it. That was Garland down, so he wasn't that hard. You come to rescue me? I don't know how I can ever thank you. I am Sarah, Princess of Cornelia. That's the first time anyone's ever defeated Garland. You must allow me to show my gratitude. Please accompany me to the Castle Cornelia. Thank you for turning my daughter to my side. There can be no doubt that you are the Warriors of Light from Lucan's prophecy. You share the prophecy in its entirety, if I may. When darkness fails the world, 4 Warriors of Light shall come. If they cannot gather the shards of light, the darkness will consume all. The 4 crystals will never shine again. Now I hear that a crystal can be found on the continent to our north. Restoring light to the crystals is our only hope in ridding the world of the monsters which plague it. I will have the bridge to the north rebuilt as I promised. I pray that you succeed in restoring light to the 4 crystals and to the world. So now that we've done that, we're going to talk to Sarah. This has been entrusted to the Princess of Cornelia for many generations. When he abducted me, Garland took this loot as well. I want you to have it. It may be of aid to you in your journey. So we obtained the loot that we're not going to use for a very long time, but it's worth doing because if you don't get it now, you might never remember to get it. The Dice Girl on knows. Oh, okay, yeah. She just like tells information. Sarah's thoughts are always with you. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Sarah. Orders from His Majesty. We're to do our part to fulfill Lucan's prophecy. Oh yeah, here we go. They just like slapping that stone and wood. Oh, I remember what happened now. Like, yeah, I remember why I had to start it. I had to restart this about 4 times, actually. It was not just the one time that I mentioned. Because my computer kept blue screening. And there'll be a few instances where you'll notice there's like weird cuts. It's because my computer kept blue screening. However, I have managed to fix it since then. What does the bridge have to do with the prophecy? The 4 Warriors of Light are here. They're here in Cornelia. So So now we are able to leave and go north, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to leave this part of the continent. So this is technically where Final Fantasy 1 actually starts. Like, this is like the official start. I wish like these shadows changed, like depending on what classes you had. It would have been really cool. But I do like that we had the 4 shadows of the like just vague warriors. And so their quest began. As the 4 warriors of light, they felt overwhelmed by the great task destiny had placed before them. Maybe I'll let it scroll a little bit more before I start reading that. They did not even know the true significance of the 4 crystals they held in their hands. Makes it hard to read this because it's very disjointed. The crystals that once long ago held a light that shone so brilliantly. The time for their journey had come. The time to cast off the veil of darkness and bring the world once more into light. I believe that's the last line. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. We're coming up to the last few seconds of the video. So don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to answer the question of the day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And make sure to follow all my social medias at TheDrewGamer. And we will start our journey through Final Fantasy 1 in the next episode, and I will see you then.